You gotta get aggressive with the ghost. You gotta let them know you ain't playing no games.
Well, we don't want to piss off the dead, do we?
I don't really identify as a ghost, actually.
But I didn't grow up with a pumpkin patch.
If I'm home alone watching something scary on TV, and then I gotta walk all the way down the hallway to the bathroom, I'll start singing praise and worship songs. For protection. Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible tells. You gotta get aggressive. You gotta get aggressive with the ghost. You gotta let them know you ain't playing no games. Oh, you think this a game, ghost? Oh, you trying to scare me? Well, you didn't see me over here with my Merlot taking my communion?
I'm a big scary movie fan. My problem with scary movies, though, scary movies, black people die first, but fat people die worst, Like, in a scary movie, there's always a black guy going like, oh shit, what? And he's killed. But fat people were always doing something to him. We're always like, hey guys, wait up! Like, we make the sound of cheese being made when we're stabbed. Hey guys, the store just had regular Doritos and not Cool Ranch, so I made my own ranch from home. Why is that guy wearing a hockey mask? It's the summer. Oh shit, I'm getting killed! I was nervous that joke wasn't gonna work because I don't know if you guys have black people here, so
I like to see the best in people, Like, I live by the Celebrity Center, Scientology Center in Hollywood. And every time I drive by, I go, no, bad, danger, drive, bad, keep going, drive. But then the other day, I saw a banner outside of it that said double outdoor feature of Hocus Pocus and Hook. And I was like, you know what? That has some good ideas.
I'm from Harlem. You guys heard of Harlem? Yeah, a lot of new white neighbors. Which is cool, it's fine. There's like a little bit of racial tension, but it's fine, Like I see sometimes like a white woman's coming across the street and we see each other and then she has this look of fear that goes over her face, And I know what she's thinking, like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't steal my purse, Which is crazy because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope she doesn't steal my apartment.
Here's what happened. I was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2019. I met a man. I liked him very much. We started flirting. We went back to my place, and he brought up the topic of astrology. He asked me if I was a Sagittarius. I said, no thanks, I'm vaccinated. And then he let me know that he identifies as a witch. And yes, people, men can be witches. It's 2023, okay? I'm sick of this. Only women can be witches, only men can be wizards. That's very binary, yeah? Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. Magic is a spectrum, okay? Doesn't matter if you're a witch or a wizard or a crone or a sorceress. I will fuck you, all right? I'm pretty woke like that.
I admire realism. I like it. I think it's an impressive thing to be able to pull off. Halloween, realistic costumes, they're the best. They have the most respect from me. No laziness on Halloween, thank you. Gentlemen, showing up in a dinner jacket and bow tie and pretending that you are James Bond, it will not do. Unless you show up with a pistol and PTSD, I do not. I'd better find you later in the party, showering in your clothes with another equally traumatized woman. Or being very good at poker, something like that. If you're a lady, sexy cats. No respect. No respect for the sexy cats. In fact, I've got a plan this year to undermine them. I'm going to come as a realistic cat. If only to give my girlfriend another chance to even have one. I'm coming as a realistic cat. I've got the costume almost worked out. The final thing I need to figure out is a way to ensure that you can always see my anus. Some sort of clamp. Like a splaying device, I suppose. It's harder than you think, because cats don't have bum cheeks, do they? No, they don't. They have a sort of panel with a bum hole in the middle. Hard to emulate that in a costume without help from Jim Henson's workshop. That would have been a horrible villain in Scooby-Doo, wouldn't it? Someone dressed like that. Thank God you're here, mystery gang. There's a giant realistic cat haunting the theme park. Oh, and you think it's a man? No, we know it's a man. We want you to get rid of him. He's got his anus out. Fred and Daphne would be like, no, the police should do this one. For once, the police can have one. This man is disturbed. What a dull show that was, Scooby-Doo. What an incredibly boring... As a child, I loved it, but looking back, it's the most boring show in the world. Every single episode of Scooby-Doo was about financial crime. Low-level financial misdemeanor. Oh, no, but there was a guy dressed as Dracula. Yeah, but why was he dressed as Dracula? It was to scare away a board of investors. He was dressing as Dracula to devalue waterfront property. That's fraud. That's a financial crime, isn't it? All I'm saying is, does that not strike you as a phenomenally dry genre of crime for a children's cartoon? Like, I can see why they need the ghost bit. Just to spice things up, for God's sake. I mean, Hanna-Barbera must have had to have a meeting and gone, look, we've done a lot of test screenings, and children refuse to engage with our cartoon about a van of traveling auditors. They find it dull. We're gonna make one of the auditors a dog. The rest of them can be hippies. People, that's cool now. People like hippies. People always trust hippies with financial affairs. And the fraudster can be Dracula. Why would a fraudster be Dracula? I don't know, Stephen. I'm bringing solutions. Try to save the show.
I'm a very good grandson, as all island boys are. There's a lot of grandparents here. And I phone my grandma all the time, and my grandma is very funny. She's 96 years old, and she has a very dark sense of humor, and she always giggles after she says something horrifying. Like, almost every time we end our phone call, I'll be like, okay, Grandma, I'll talk to you soon. She's like, probably not.
I'm vaccinated, and I'm telling you that because I want you to know I'm a hero. I got the one that gives you blood clots. I got the blood clot one. I got the one that gives you blood clots. I used to say Johnson & Johnson, but before I would get to the second Johnson, whoever I was talking to would go, blood clots. You have the blood clot one. You have the one that gives you blood clots. So now I just save everybody time, and I go, blood clots. I have the blood clot one. I have the one that gives you blood clots. But it's gonna work to my advantage because New York City, where I live, is getting increasingly violent. And I figure if I get shot in the street, I won't bleed out. They'll be like, you know what saved this guy? Blood clots. He had the blood clot one. He had the one that gives you blood clots.
I used to have fitness goals. Now my goal is just that I don't want to look like White Shrek. That's pretty much all I want. I look in a pond and I'm like, oh no. Turning into the cartoon. They got these big, stupid, heavy ears, and 2 years of wearing a mask like pulled them further from my head. He's got like flutes now, like.
I'm always waiting for those two twins from The Shining to show up. Be like, come play with us forever and ever and ever. Right? I used to think The Shining was a horror movie, but now I think it was just written by a really tired dad. Right? He's exhausted. He's like, get the minivan, get the axe. I don't know anymore. By the way, those of you who haven't seen The Shining, it's a family film. Right? It's perfect for the pandemic. Perfect. You know, your kids aren't paying attention, you throw in The Shining. You're like, this is what could happen if I have to watch Frozen one more time. I will not let it go. I will not let it go.
I don't fuck with Ouija boards. Obviously, this only pertains to white women. And you know what? This shouldn't even be a story that I have to tell, but it's been weighing heavy on my soul lately, so I'll let y'all in. A couple of years ago, I was doing a show at a comedy club in Hollywood, and I get off stage, and this beautiful girl comes up to me, gives me her number. This happens all the time. And kidding. She comes up to me, gives me her number. She's beautiful. We go our separate ways for the evening. The very next day, she texts me and was like, hey, I want to come over. And I'm like, bet. Still got it. You know what I mean? So she comes over. I let her in. We go sit on the couch. And it's me and her on the couch. And then my roommate is down the hall in his room. His door's open. You can't see into the living room from his room, but he hears all of this. He's a witness. So we sit on the couch. And for the first 2 minutes, I'm asking all the questions that guys don't care about. But we don't want to come across too eager, so we ask silly questions like, you got a family or, those your real ears? You didn't get your ears done? Like vague shit that we don't really care about at all. So we're talking for like 2 minutes, and then she hits me with, do you have a Ouija board? And I'm like, I don't even have a headboard. Nah, don't got that on me. Sorry. And she goes, well, can we go to Target and get one? I'm like, no, I've got Disney Plus. That's what we're doing. And she's not giving up. She was like, what? Well, can I make one? I'm like, what in the demonic charcuterie are you trying to bring into my home right now? And I'm trying to hit. So I'm like, yeah, sure. If you can find the things in my apartment to make a Ouija board, go ahead. Biggest mistake of my life. This stranger who I just met starts ransacking my apartment. She's opening every cabinet, every cupboard, every closet, going through everything. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a video of when a deer accidentally gets inside and it starts hitting everything like it's never seen walls before. But she's going crazy. She finds a couple of markers to write stuff down. She finds this little glass piece to be like the centerpiece. And she's like, that's how hard she's working. She's out of breath. She's like, we don't have something to make the board. And I was like, damn. Guess we gotta watch Monsters, Inc. Why don't you just sit on down? And she goes, hold on a second. So she gets up and she goes over to the front door. She opens the front door and she goes outside. And my roommate comes down the hallway and is like, and I'm like, so he goes over and slams the door shut behind her. I laughed so hard, but again, there's a mission at hand. So I'm like, all right, stop playing. So I get up, I go open the door. It's been 4 seconds. I open the door. There's nobody out there. She's gone. So I'm like, hey. Ashley. I'm gonna shut the door. And once it's shut, it's gonna stay shut. You're gonna be stuck out here. I'm serious, Amanda. All right. So I go, I swing the door and turn around, and straight out of a scary movie, this chick's foot, bah, stops it right before it closes on the frame. I was like, Jesus Christ. And here comes this chick lugging in this giant piece of cardboard. I'm like, where did you get that? She goes, it was just out there. Bitch, no it wasn't. No, it was not just out there. So she brings it in, she sets it on the coffee table, and we both sit on the couch, and I don't know where it came from. I lift it up. It's from the TV box I threw in the dumpster 4 days prior. This chick brought garbage back into my home to summon the devil. So you know the sex is gonna be dope. She's fucking crazy. I'm in. I gotta do it now. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never smashed a homeless chick before, but she clearly brought all of her things. She's like, all right, you ready to make one? And I'm like, I guess, yeah. So she draws it out, and before I continue, does anybody not know what a Ouija board is? Yeah. Really? Yeah. You really don't know? No clue. Oh, man. Okay. Well, first of all, God bless you. You're so naive. A Ouija board is essentially, it's a toy board that you can get from any store like Walmart or Target or whatever. It's and people use it to drunk text the dead, essentially. That's all it's good for. And it's a very simple layout. It has the alphabet right here, close center, middle of the board. It's where the centerpiece is supposed to be guided by a spirit to spell out certain words to answers that you ask it. So in the middle is the alphabet. Right corner is no. Left corner is yes. Alphabet, left, yes, no. Yes, alphabet, no. So she draws the whole thing up, and she's like, all right, so there's a couple of rules you have to know when you're going to play with a Ouija board. I was like, yeah, duh. I mean, everybody knows that. But refresh me again. She was like, all right, rule number 1, you never play with it by yourself. Ever. I'm like, okay. Rule number 2, you have to remember to say goodbye, because apparently you can't ghost the ghosts. So she's like, all right, let's play. Okay. So got our hands on the piece, and she's like, all right, we got to ask it a question. All right, go ahead. She's like, all right, okay. Is there anybody here with us? And you just hear my roommate down the hallway go, yeah, his name is Brandon, and he fucking lives here. I was like, touche, he pays rent. Which do you? No. So she's like, all right, I'll ask you another question. Did anybody die here? Doesn't move. I'm like, this is crazy. She's like, oh, well, then you ask it something. I'm like, okay. Should we go lay down in my room? Oh! We don't want to piss off the dead, do we? She was like, you're right. So we go lay down. This chick brings the cardboard in the room with her. She sets it at the foot of the bed like it's a golden retriever. Now we're under the covers. We're doing more makeshift conversation. You know, I'm like, you got dreams, or what's your favorite picture, or just vague shit I don't care about. And about like 4 or 5 minutes after this, she just knocks out. Like, not a subtle, like, I'm starting to feel a little bit tired. Like, just straight, yeah. And then like, she is slumped. And now it's her asleep, me under the covers, and I'm staring down, just terrified of this Samsung TV box. And all I could think is, this bitch didn't say goodbye. Now I'm terrified, up by myself. I'm trying to wake her up. I'm like, hey, Allison. Hey. great. She's asleep. Now I gotta play with it by myself. So I start jerking off, and she wakes up straight out of an exorcism. And was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, God. And I swear to God, a spirit left my body and hit her right in the face. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
My niece and my nephews, they're super into Harry Potter. They love Harry Potter. So much so that this past Halloween, when the Ellis family went trick-or-treating together, we all had to go as Harry Potter characters. And guess who got to be the person of honor? Yeah. My niece, she asked me the day before Halloween, she's like, Uncle Mark, we talked about it. And in my head, I'm like, shit, is this an intervention? Is it? And she's like, we want you to be Harry. And yeah, it was so cute, and I knew I was gonna break her heart because I said yes, and I'll do everything I can to pull off Harry Potter, but she's 7. She's expecting the kid from the movies. She's not expecting middle-aged, burned out, hasn't cast a spell in 30 years, Harry Potter. Still wearing his Gryffindor robe, but gets a high school varsity jacket.
We've been together 10 years. I'm still not 100% sure he's not a serial killer. Okay, listen. Hear me out, all right? I do watch a lot of Dateline. I listen to a lot of murder podcasts. Yeah. And he fits the profile, okay? Here's the thing, we did meet doing comedy. He's a comedian. That's just one step away from being a clown. Very murdery, all right? Also, he owns a pressure washing business. That's a murder cleanup company. That's what that is. He's got a lot of bleach in barrels, and he could disappear me real quick if he wanted to. Most importantly, though, he's a middle-aged white dude. He wears glasses, and his middle name is Wayne. So...
You know national parks. This is Utah. You have, whoa, wow. Just stuff that you're like, don't anybody touch this. This is amazing. Arches, what's happening here? Look at, dinosaur footprints? Oh, you mean God's little tricksters? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, I won't bother those.
My mom was a pediatric nurse, and so if she didn't have anybody to like watch me on the weekend, she would just like bring me to work with her. You know, it was a pediatric floor. There was a lot of kids there that I would make friends with, and then they would eventually die over and over and over and over and over again. That was my life, and all the other nurses were like psyched that Barbara's kid is here, so they'd always give me jobs to do. My main job was delivering blood to the lab, which breaks my mind now. Like now, in order to touch blood in a hospital, you have to be in like a spacesuit, you know? I was just like 6 years old, and they just handed me a hot bag of blood. And I was like, I'm on an adventure.
That's why I've decided there cannot be very many menopausal women in hell. Because they wouldn't put up with it. They'd band together, overthrow the devil, and get the air turned on.
Speaking of temperature, having a house that's 200 years old, I've been playing this game where I set the thermostat for 71. I mean, right now it's set at 110. But at home, I would set it for like 71, and then I walk around and try to find what room is actually 71. It's a fun game. Like, I have one of those COVID thermometer guns, right? So I'll holster it, and I'll walk in the rooms, and I'll just practice drawing, and I'll click, and I'll be like, 73 degrees in that room. Walk in another one. Oh, 32 in that one. Man, that's a lot of different temperatures coming out of this room. Pretty sure a tornado's gonna start in the hallway.
I've been told I give off the energy of an emotional support animal. which is unfortunate because I am going full throttle. This is 1,000% of my energy, very excited. So I hope you all will match my energy with significantly more energy than me. See a lot of familiar faces. Some friendly faces. Couple haters, but a lot of friendly faces. I saw some people rolling in late. I'm a late person myself, and the early people do not like us. The early people say, you being late means you don't respect my time, which is such an early person thing to say. Like me being late has anything to do with you. I'm not late because I don't respect your time. I'm late because I was doing something more important. I was showering for a long time, and I forgot you existed. Briefly, just briefly. But I respect you. My dad will show up an hour early and text, "Here, no rush," which should be illegal. That is a devastating text to receive. But I had a good pandemic. I got into, wasn't for everyone, but yeah, I got into sports gambling over the pandemic, and a lot of people say that's addictive, but to me it's just kind of a rush like no other. It's not addictive. I mean, sure, sometimes I'll engage in short-term stimulus despite long-term adverse results. It's not addictive. It's just something that engages my mind night and day and ruins my relationships. I finally called one of those 1-800 gambler numbers. They were like, "I bet you won't quit." I was like, "You're on." Lost $40, but I really started messing around with early bedtime, and that is addictive. Start cozying up at 10, you're like, where's this been? 10 is the gateway to 9:30. Next thing I know, I'm curling up at 8:45. Your friends are like, where you been, Joe? You're like, busy. Super busy. I got good relationships and stuff. 8 p.m. is the overdose of early bedtime. That's when you've gone too far. You wake up 3 refreshed. Walk the streets in the night with the other addicts and criminals. Trying to make new friends. Looking in the coffee shop window, 2 more hours. Then maybe I can help them open. Weed was legalized in New York City, and I finally started trying weed gummies. I think I'm the only person that's like, sure, I'll do weed as long as it's no longer cool. Weed gummies, gateway into regular gummies. Yeah. Wow. They taste good. I forgot how good they taste. Now I'm eating weed gummies, regular gummies, vitamin gummies. I'm a gummy boy now, and it's tough. It's a lot of gummy. Doing a lot of gummies. And it is more fun to say you're doing gummy vitamins. Yeah, you want to come over, do some C? We could do E. I got fish oil, make your eyeballs slippery. Could do some supplements, GABA, tryptophan, melatonin, get in bed at 8. Dude, last time I took melatonin, I almost didn't wake up. That was nuts, dude. Love melatonin, dude. If marijuana is a real medicine, isn't it time for other medicines to step up the fun? Why don't we have antibiotic chocolates? Penicillin Sour Patch Kids? Get some Lipitor brownies, I don't know. Vape the vaccine, go in for the booster bong, Johnson & Joint, I'm just spitballing. A lot of addictions, but otherwise pretty good. Pretty good. I got broken up with to my face, which I recommend, because a lot of people are being ghosted, not me. Right to the dome. It's pretty sweet. People complain about being ghosted. I got ghosted again. What a jerk. I feel like they forget the opposite is when somebody firmly tells you why they never want to see you again. And now that I've experienced both, have to say ghosting might be underrated. Just a little. Sure, it's sad when somebody disappears, but you should try having your flaws expressed. By a woman named Beth. Over a hot cup of coffee. But she was very smart, PhD. She kept beating me at board games. I love game night. She beat me at Scrabble, Trivial Pursuit, chess. On the fourth game night, I was like, I brought Hungry, Hungry Hippo. I have a little two-handed flicking technique that is unstoppable. And I brought Uno. I'll teach you the language. And after that, we can arm wrestle. She did defeat me at those as well. I've heard that men are intimidated to date successful women. What they don't mention is successful women less interested in dumb losers. What's up with that, ladies? That's a double standard. Give us a chance. But the biggest argument we got in, I'm embarrassed. She called me out for mansplaining, and I'm sure you guys know what that is. If you don't, I can't tell you. Well, it made me think long and hard about it, and I realized I wasn't explaining anything. We were just having a disagreement, and she didn't like what I was saying. And I do think that's the subtle difference now between a man speaking and a mansplaining, is if you hate what he said. That's mansplaining. If you like what he's saying, that's just a nice man talking. And just for the sake of thought, I had to wonder about the exact opposite of mansplaining. I think it would be a woman asking questions that are impossible to answer. And she did that a lot. I just don't think we have a catchy phrase for it, like lady riddling. Or woman sphinxing. She asked me, who do you think's cuter, me or my cat? I was like, I thought we were gonna relax tonight. Now I gotta grind. And I'm looking at her, I'm looking at her cat. I can tell there's a lot of wrong answers. And I thought I solved it. I was like, you're both so cute. And she said, no, you have to pick. I'm like, what is the answer? Finally, I said, you're the cutest woman and your cat's the cutest cat? And she was like, that's correct. I was like, that was a close call. That was way closer than anyone realizes. I know there's wrong answers because we were watching her favorite show, Love Island Australia. 1 week earlier, and she said, who do you think's hotter, Courtney or Jess? And I'm like, I didn't even want to be here. I don't even like Love Island, and now I gotta choose between the hottest 22-year-old. And I said Courtney, and that was incorrect. For a month, she was like, yeah, well, you think Courtney would? Yeah, you think Courtney would like that? God. I failed that test. She could never understand why I don't like Love Island. I just can't get myself to care about the relationships of strangers. I have trouble caring about my friends' relationships. I asked my buddy Tom if he was ever open to having kids. He was like, I have a 9 and a 7-year-old. I'm like, okay. So you're open to it. Thanks for the gossip. But I have learned something important from dating. I've learned the best 3 questions you can ask on a first date to get to know somebody. They are, who's your teenage crush? What will you name your firstborn child? And bank password. And for me, it's Matt Damon, and Matt Damon too. So that's just me. I'm flirting now. No, I do wish I was friends with Matt Damon. I very much wish that.
We did an escape room together as a family before the pandemic, right? We didn't know what was coming. I'd never done an escape. I didn't even know what it was. My cousin's like, oh, it's so great. She goes, we all got locked in a room together, and we have to find our way out. I was like, oh, you mean like Christmas? I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, what is happening? She's like, no, it's so great. There's like a theme. It's like $30 a person. I was like, $30 a person? I'm like, let's just lock ourselves in the basement. Let's bring a bottle of Jameson. If we make it out as a family, we won. Like, end of story. I'm like, even better, let's take those $30. Let's make this a gamble. Let's put it in the middle. If nobody brings up politics, you get your money back.
I like old ghosts, you know? I like these lighthouse ghosts. And think about how lame ghosts are going to be in like 200 or 300 years when we're all dead. Gen Z ghosts. Hipster ghosts. Not scaring anybody, just needly annoying hauntings. Like one scooter riding itself down the street. You wake up, all your K-cups are cold brewed and your Wi-Fi password's complicated. All your Rolling Stone albums are now the Lumineers or some shit. Walk into a building in 200 years, like, if there are any ghosts in here, please identify yourself. And the ghosts are like, I don't really identify as a ghost, actually. I'm dimension neutral, thank you. So you can stop spirit shaming, I would really appreciate it.
I admire realism. I like it. I think it's an impressive thing to be able to pull off. Halloween, realistic costumes, they're the best. They have the most respect from me. No laziness on Halloween, thank you. Gentlemen, showing up in a dinner jacket and bow tie and pretending that you are James Bond, it will not do. Unless you show up with a pistol and PTSD, I do not. I'd better find you later in the party, showering in your clothes with another equally traumatized woman. Or being very good at poker, something like that.
Real quick, why when people get stabbed in movies, why they never blink their eyes? They just be on some... Like, bro, I stabbed you 5 minutes ago. We gotta go to the next scene, bro.
It's a huge mental adjustment when you've been part of a couple for so many years. So you just get so used to thinking in terms, like, you're so used to thinking in terms of murder-suicide. That to suddenly one day be left alone with just the suicide, you really find yourself missing the murder.
There are people who wish it to be the end times right now because they want to get to the rapture. They think it's the end times. They want it to be the end times because they want to speed it up, get to the rapture. Here's the twist. They've decided that they're going to be horrible people to speed up the end times to get to the rapture. Let's unpack it. First of all, not the end times, just terrible times. Try to help somebody. Second thing, the rapture. I don't know if you know anything about the rapture. They're not taking horrible people. Third thing you may not know about the rapture, not real. Not real. Literally a parable to get you to not be a horrible person.
I think white people are the only race of people that like to be scared for fun. Like, you feel me? Not an attack. Doesn't make you bad. Makes you interesting. But not bad, but bungee jumping, skydiving, swimming with sharks. These are torture tactics. Some of you pay for them. That's a curveball. I just think white people get to have a different relationship with fear. Doesn't make anyone bad. I just think it's an interesting observation. White people can have a different relationship with fear. Like, I think white people are the only people you could walk up to and just be like, hey, you want to do something scary today? And y'all won't just outright say no. You feel me? You'll be like, well, what do you got in mind?
Ever seen a gladiator die before? No? Well, you can see this in films like Troy or 300 or, even Gladiator. Anytime someone gets killed by a sword, they'll fall to their knees in slow motion. For some reason, this will happen. It'll be like this, I go. Zimni, honey, 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 Zimni, honey, 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 honey. It's depressing. I find it very depressing.
And so the labour happened very quickly. So I knew that I was in labour, but no one believed me. And I think one of the reasons is that my waters didn't break. And so the baby came out in the amniotic sac, like in the cow. But we didn't know that at the time. So she just looked like an alien splodge. And so the midwife said to my husband, oh, do you want to go and have a look at the head? As he went to go and have a look, and I went, oh, what does she look like? And he went, don't worry about it, we'll see. I was like, what do you mean, we'll see? And he was like, let's just get it out and then we'll deal with it.
9 hours after my child was born, he started twitching. And I got scared. I asked the nurse what was going on. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's just having a nightmare. A nightmare? He's 9 hours old. What on earth has happened during the first 9 hours? What, was he ripped out of the only place he knew as home and thrown into a land of bright lights and giants with no guarantees of food, safety, or shelter, with no real understanding of why he exists? And to be perfectly honest, the giants that run the show don't know why they exist either, They're just hamsters running around a wheel, and all they know for sure is that they're cogs in capitalism, a system they cannot destroy. So what are you twitching about? The nightmare begins now.
I know I have a dark sense of humor. It all started when I think I was 4 or 5 years old. I'll never forget this. My mom woke me up one morning by kicking in my door and screaming, "Your dog is dead!" And then she left me to cry for 10 minutes, and then she came back and was like, "April Fool's, sweetheart." So, why don't you guys trust women? I'm gonna get her in the nursing home, though. I'll get her. Tell her daughter died a different way every day.
Who's a couple who's got a weird way? What do you got back there? Go ahead.
We met at a festival in Eastern Oregon, a small, less than 2,000 people festival, serving bar at Clown Night with Clown Noses on.
You met at Clown Night? Yeah, okay, relax. Quit acting like I'm the crazy one. Like, yeah, I always said that. Clown night, dumbass. We met at clown night. And then you have noses on at clown night? Yeah, yeah, duh. What do you think makes it clown night, stupid man? Can you imagine walking into a clown bar? I don't know if there's I would make a U-turn so fast. I'd be like, we need to get the fuck out of here. They'd be like, trivia night? Worse, run. Start that car. People loved you? Yeah, well, lots of people think that and they're wrong. That happens all the time.
During last Halloween, she wanted to go to a pumpkin patch with me. But I didn't grow up with a pumpkin patch. Like, I don't know what the pumpkin patch is. But I was like, all right, let's go to the pumpkin patch. So we went to the pumpkin patch. You know what I realized about the pumpkin patch? It's just people taking pictures with a vegetable. That's pretty much it, right? It's a zoo for vegetables. And I didn't grow up with that concept because back in Venezuela, my dad never took me to the supermarket with a camera. I'd be like, hey, Francisco, stand next to the bananas. Like, they're not ready.
And I still read all the time. That's what I do. I travel, I read. I travel. A couple of years ago, I'm traveling. I'm in New York City, and I run out of books. Pre-Kindle. And yeah, I gotta have a book, you guys. I gotta stop the voices. So I'm in New York, and my friend says you could either borrow the Twilight series or the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. And I genuinely think to myself, well, maybe Twilight Sparkle vampires are scary. So I choose the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, which is a nightmare and is terrifying and should have been called The Girl Who Was Sexually Tortured in the Swedish Foster Care Program, because then I would not have read it. Because it's scary, but it's pretty well written, so you start reading it, and then all of a sudden it's 5 in the morning, and you're like, she better live. And then you've read all 3 in a week, and then you're mad at every guy in the world.
The kids, we play that game Hangman a lot. Remember that spelling game Hangman? That game's a little fucked up, right? Like, what an American game, right? Hangman is like, only in America are we like, yeah, spelling's pretty cool, but what if it was violent?
I have a weird fear of ghosts. I feel like they're gonna possess me. It's a strange thing. 2 things my friends know about me. I'm scared of ghosts and I have bad self-esteem. So I'm afraid a ghost will enter my body, but I'm more afraid he'll be disappointed.
I think the biggest way that I know that I'm aging, I can no longer tell if someone is beautiful or just 25. That's a really bad feeling to me. That means I get attracted to someone, but am I? Really? Or am I just like, oh, your skin and your moisture and your hopes, like I'm a witch in the forest and I'm feeding on the dreams of the young?
This is 100% true. So when my daughter was about 4.5, my wife was out of town, and we were having breakfast, and there was a little lull in the conversation, and I'm over, cleaning up some dishes and stuff. And then after about a minute, she says to me, and apropos of nothing, we had not been talking about anything like this at all. So she just comes out with this. She goes, Daddy, I'm sad you're going to die soon. And, my immediate reaction was like, oh my God. She's a witch.
Here's the thing, I read almost anything. Fiction, nonfiction, literature, crap. I read it all. And in junior high, I don't read horror. That's the only thing I don't read. Don't read horror because it is scary. Congratulations, horror writers. You've already won. I'm not fighting that fight. Okay.
I'm a big fan of roller coasters, although it is always extra scary for me riding the roller coasters. We have to share a lap bar. Because if the person next to me is bigger than me, which is 98% of people, then for that whole ride, there's a 1.5 foot space between me and that lap bar. Which means the ride starts and I'm doing 360s still in my seat. You haven't felt fear till you've asked yourself, should I be sliding around this much? On a straightaway? It's like every time the ride turned, I'm like, this is it. This is how I go. Get off the roller coaster, and my buddy's like, you feel that hang time? I'm like, that's all I felt. I was airborne for 3 minutes. Scary.
My wife gets nervous because crime's gone up in New York, and she's nervous that she's gonna get abducted, you know? And I'm like, honey, you're 44. That ship has sailed. That's not an Amber Alert, that's a life alert. My wife's hot, but no kidnapper wants to deal with a 40-year-old fucking woman. You know, brings her back to the place, throws her in his fuck dungeon, then puts a water in front of her, and she's like, you know, a coaster under this would be nice. I'm calling the cops on myself.
Usually when I jog, and you guys can use this, it works for me, but whenever I do jog, I like to jog in cemeteries. Yeah, because that makes me feel like I'm in better shape than everyone else around me. Sure, I'm huffing and puffing, but I'm not decomposing, right? Just sashaying through the cemetery, right?
No, seriously, I did. I grew up in the church, so I feel free to tease church people, especially the ones that are dead. If they're dead, it's not really gossip. It's really just history. My grandma's dead, and I couldn't be more thrilled for her to go to heaven. Listen, my mama put the word fun in dysfunctional. My grandmother put the word fun in funeral. It was time. Hush, you don't know her. My grandma is the meanest Christian I ever met in my life. You ever met a mean Christian? There's a mean old grouchy Christian. You know, when I started talking about it, somebody came to mind right then. If you can't think of one, you might be her.
Also, when I was in London, I was paranoid about getting mugged, so I hatched a plan. I was like, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have 2 wallets in my bag, okay? I'm gonna have a real wallet, real money, real cards, and a fake wallet, fake money, fake cards, a decoy wallet, if you will. So then when mugger goes, give me your wallet, I will give them fake wallet. And I'm quite a good actor, so I'll be like, oh no! My official wallet. I use that all the time for purchasing. And if they take my bag and find 2 wallets in there, they'll be like, 2 wallets? Well, she must also be a thief. One of us. And give it back.
I also love the docu-series shows, Forensic Files, The First 48. That's my show. And I travel a lot with stand-up, so a lot of times I go to cities that are always on that show. And I'll arrive in that city and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm in Dade County. I could totally get murdered right now. Like I get all starstruck.
You wanna have a haunted house that will scare adults? It should start off with you walking inside the haunted house, and for no reason at all, the engine light in your car starts to go off. You're like, what's wrong with it now? I just got it from the garage last week. You go into one room, there's your landlord holding a notice saying there's been an 8% increase in rent. You go into the next room, there are 9 cats standing there, look at you going, you're 40 and single, when do we move in? You start running down the hallway, dodging Facebook friend requests from people you haven't seen since high school, wanting you to join their pyramid scheme.
Fuck yeah. Look at that hat, dude. Nice. Did you win that in a raffle earlier? That is a cool-ass hat. And I'm obviously deflecting, you know what I'm saying? Like, anytime a dude and you've got the vest to accompany the hat. Are you always this? Is this your normal getup for, or is it the Saturday special? Is that what we're getting? 7 days a week. Fuck yeah! You go vest and hat 7 days a week. What do you do for work? I don't know why I didn't ask that right out of the gate. You finance dreams and you fix nightmares. I'll take things robots say for 1,000, Alex. Alien!